Hello. Welcome back, Soul Family. Tsunami Diamond here. We're so excited to be back with you again for another episode where we're going to be diving into what are we guided to build and why did we come?
Groovy. Yeah. So, meanwhile, we just want to hit it with some backstage flow with you. We've been trying to operate technology over here on our ends for a solid, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever time is to you. And it's been super wonky. And our friend Steve, believes it's because of Mercury retrograde. So we've tried multiple channels to create this podcast, and I believe that this podcast is gonna be lit, and it's gonna be jammed packed with so much to intake and to join and be a part of. And that might be why we're having so many interesting and fun complications. So today we're going to talk about why we came to Earth and what we're creating for humanity and for Earth, because it's very important for people, all of you, to understand what our focus is here and what we're building here and what we're building with other creators as well as galactic beings. And Tsunami and I are very much so ignited and connected to our source with clear wisdom and direct energy or direct intelligence on what to build for humanity. And we're epic creators, and we want to share this with you because it's important for everyone to join and for us to come to union and co-create. So everything we're going to share with you today is an open field for anyone and everyone to join aboard and build with us on the islands, on the lands, in the cities that we're building. So this is really powerful. So here we go.
All right. So maybe to kick this episode off, before we dive into all the projects and that side of things, maybe we can dive a little bit into like what brought us here in this life so far in our path leading up to now.
Go ahead, Sue. I feel like I'm gonna slightly puke. So hit it off.
Well, I hope your stomach's okay.
It's okay, Galactic Warrior. I can hold it in with breath.
What's brought us here? Well, I mean, I've touched on a little bit in earlier episodes on here of some of my path of past careers and things like that, and really just being divinely guided each step of the way and listening to the downloads, to the guidance that came to me along the way to just keep going from that next piece of the puzzle to the next piece of the puzzle. And in retrospect, looking through my life when I had different interests and different facets of something, and then like dive head in full deep into a certain subject, whether that was technology, business, what's going on the planet and what's wrong and what needs to be fixed, and all these different things and interests that came to me over the years. And about a little over 7 years ago, actually around 2012, I don't know how many years ago that was now, but I started getting these super visions and downloads that were coming to me of the future of building a new Earth and what it was going to take to really pull it off. And I started getting these visions of this whole very intricate master plan and all of these different pieces all interlinked together and working together in unison, and all the layers of that, of whether that's the media, whether that's the technology systems, the new ways of living, the new ways of working, all these different parts. And at that time, I'm like, okay, I have this master plan that's been downloaded to me, and I've just dived so deep into different facets of it over the years. But at the beginning, that plan was like, whoa, okay, how is this going to be done? But I know it's possible, and I just need to start putting all of my energy towards this direction of what needs to be done. And along the way, doing a lot of inner work and just really being led by spirit, I started meeting all these other amazing creators and started finding pieces of the puzzle each step of the way, where it's like, whoa, okay. And as each year goes by, I'm like, whoa, okay, I see how this is going to happen. I see it unfolding. I see all the pieces of the puzzle coming together so seamlessly and magically and synchronistically that it's just mind-blowing and so humbling and exciting.
Yeah, and when you are directly guided by the purity of creation that created us, it can get fairly intense. You can be in a moment where you're like, whoa, is this for real? Is this really my role? Wow, this is extreme. We're leading the masses, and we're building for the masses. Can you handle this? And that's when you really gotta step into your role and believe that you can handle what you're being guided to build and being guided to become. And we've taken so many years to tone in and to really retrieve this clearly. And so here we are, and we want to share with you what we've come here to build. I'll start off in saying we've come to activate lands all over the world, and direct message for me is to activate 200 castles, ancient castles around the world. Some will also be large mansions that are built for us, and they will be activation academies where we're teaching people vast ways to elevate, to rewire, to reactivate your heart, to bring in deep awareness of your purpose and align people with their mission. And so these safe heavens, these safe sanctuaries, these academies, these castles, these temples are places that are our oases where people from all over the world can come and enjoy a day, can come and enjoy a month of activations with masters from around the world that practice their techniques and their wisdom and their teachings far up in the mountains, like in the Himalayas, and bringing their wisdom to these centers. We are also guided to build a whole new ecosystem, and we are also guided to be building this with galactic beings. That's other star races from other planets who are divinely here for all of us to join in communication and join in building and gracefully utilizing their technology for our greatest purpose here on Earth. And we're coming into that shift where we're dismantling systems that don't serve us, and we're producing new systems that do serve us. And with that, you need a whole new ecosystem, you need a whole new banking system, you need a whole new type of economy that juvenates and revenates for the greatest good of mankind and for Earth. And so share a bit, Sue, of some of the companies and projects that are available for humanity.
Yeah. So as Meg was just touching on physical spaces and this ecosystem, which is bringing together the most advanced technologies, whether that's blockchain, for the decentralization of this new Earth ecosystem and economy that we are creating via the Ascendia DAO, via our Ascendia XR metaverse, which is very unique in regards to metaverse post from a lot of these other metaverses getting built. We don't want to build a metaverse that's just going to lead people into a life of disconnection from nature and source and get engulfed in some dystopian future where people just spend all their time in VR and virtual worlds. No. We want to utilize these very powerful technologies for deepening people's connection to nature and source and things like that, which is why we're building an XR system, a cross reality system, to start bridging digital and physical realities and to build mechanics around our system that basically teach people how to play the real game of life and incentivize people for ascending their life and the planet by creating reward mechanisms built in. So you'll get rewarded with abundance for taking care of your health, getting rewarded with abundance, things for helping the planet, and a system that can start bringing together all of the pieces of the puzzle that are necessary to build the new Earth, to build the new ways of governance for humanity, to build the new economies, the new banking systems, the new currencies, the new products, the new media for humanity, the new music, all these things, healthcare, which is so broken here in the West in so many ways, where we have access to just health alone. We have access to so many advanced treatments or technologies of frequency medicine and quantum technologies for healing pretty much any disorder or massively reversing age. And these are some of the things that is a very big part of what we're going to be doing with these physical spaces, with the Ascendia resorts and smart villages, or the I Am activated spas that we're building together with our Lead Royalty Foundation, where we're going to be providing people access to immersive experience locations that not only are the most enjoyable, fun, immersive locations and spaces or activities, but also high frequency locations that are built in sacred geometry, architectural ratios, utilizing the best building materials, both eco-sustainable building materials, but also enhanced ascended building materials that are infused with crystals and minerals to create high frequency resonant locations that are not only high vibration, but also protective from the outside world of these ever rampant EMF fields that are disrupting our our energetic bodies. Additionally, with our healing centers and wellness centers, we're going to be offering the most advanced treatments that exist on the planet, and technologies that are so far more advanced than what most people think we have access to for their health. Most people are going to their doctor and getting shoved pharmaceutical chemicals down their throat, and then they have to take one, and then that leads them to having to take another and another and another, and it's a downward spiral of a broken medical health system. So we're looking at revamping all those things, and as well as, aside from all of these amazing locations and all of that, we have a very heavy focus on impact, which is why we're bringing together 144 vetted nonprofit organizations that are each tackling all these different things that need done around the planet. Tackling, going after, helping with human trafficking, with planting trees, cleaning water, protecting the Amazon, you name it. So we can take a holistic approach to the development of a new Earth and do it in a system that can create trust and transparency for unification of resources and collaboration. So we can all come together and start co-creating this new Earth in such a more rapid and efficient way.
Groovy. And I want to touch in on the activation spas. These activation spas are extremely lush. Visualize being in the greatest oasis you could imagine being in, and then visualize having all the amenities. What's that word?
Amenities.
Amenities.
Uh-huh.
Underground cave clay bathrooms and crystal rooms with scalar frequencies embedded into the grounds and into the walls, and crystals embedded into the walls. Visualize thousands of underground ice baths where each person could go into their own ice bath that is built in underneath the ground, and they can simply press a button and it can turn the ice bath into a warm bath with salts. And visualize surround sound in your bath, and you're going into a meditation, and it has all the right frequencies that activate your cells, activate your DNA, that instantly bring you to being your highest embodiment, that you're walking out of these spaces so magnetically connected that it is extremely just a whole new feeling, a whole new world, and you're instantly directed on what to do next. And we'll also be having many different teachings in these spaces, as we've mentioned, and these teachings are light, but they're also not so simple. They're for people that are ready to truly rise, that are ready to activate vastly. Let's share a little bit more on the spas. I want to share about our restaurants that are in there. We have restaurants that are all raw restaurants, our own organic farms. What are we doing with the waters? With
the waters, the waters at all of our lands are going to be brought to the highest ascended level possible. Not only are we talking about alkaline, purified water here, structured, but alkaline, purified water, structured, infused with frequencies and plasma to create the highest level water for all facets of our properties, whether that's to drink, to go on your skin in a sauna or a shower or a pool.
Activated with crystals, activated with other things though, right?
Activated through many layers of activation and brought through systems that bring the water through over 300 different vectors of change.
Okay.
And our bodies are composed of majority of water. So water is one of actually the most powerful tools for delivering frequencies and structure to our body. Because when we tune water and harmonically structure it, just as Dr. Emoto showed in his research with water, when it comes into these pretty much snowflake sacred geometry patterns, when we consume or put water like that on our skin, which is our largest organ, it does wonderful things to the body and has the potential to be one of the most powerful healing tools when programming water in the right way.
Wonderful. Right now we're activating movement in Dubai and in Belize for activating islands where they're eco islands that we all can attend and also live at. Our hotels, our activation spaces.
And in Miami, we're going to be setting up, we're going to be building I Am Activated Spa in Miami, as well as doing a few different things with headquarters spaces out there. And really, though, that as Meg said earlier, you know, her vision that she's had come to her for many years is to bring forth 200 castles in those sacred spaces around the world. And with the Ascendias and those larger scale properties of Ascendias, we're looking at bringing forth 12 of those around the world. Another one of the properties that's a part of our Ascended Tao ecosystem is the 144, the Andromeda 144 Cities of Light, which will be to build 144 light cities all around the world. And we've also been connecting and building a network of all these other ascended spaces that are either already built or being birthed around the world as we speak. So we can create an interconnected network between all of these locations to provide access to them, new timeshare models, tokenized real estate assets within these locations, so people could fractionally purchase a home within a community with a group of their friends, all sorts of things, so we can provide a new way of living at a global scale. Both for individuals that are expats and want to live in different parts of the world at different times, or for those that really are just looking for a new spark to ignite them in their life by coming and visiting one of these sacred lands that will truly transform every individual that steps foot on.
Sue, do I still have you on this line?
Yeah, I'm here.
Groovy. Cut out over here on this end.
Okay. How about Meg TV?
Sure, let's talk about Meg TV. I grew up watching Gaia TV, which I really also recommend. And I recommend Meg TV. We are a conscious network producing wisdom to humanity at no cost. it's important for us to always learn, to always study. If you feel a little dull, well, maybe you should learn some more things. So Meg TV is a portal, a landing space for people to present themselves, to share their wisdom, to share their everyday life, and to continue to breach the masses with our deepest truth. Because we are coming into this time on Earth, we're being shown that there is very much so a lot more to this creation than a lot of us were ever shown. And I think it's really important, I know and believe it's really important for us to figure the game that we're playing out here on Earth. And so taking the time and energy to study and to dive in deep beyond what we're shown at school, which is a program, a system to keep you entrapped, more so living in a box, to run on a lower agenda or a dark agenda, feeding the egoic mind. And we want to share ways to elevate out of the ego and to drop back into, hey, every human is a soul, every human is a spirit, and what is their true purpose and mission. Because if we keep running on these lower agendas, you're only entrapping yourself and entrapping yourself from not being able to elevate. And it really comes to knowing you're staying in a cycle, feeding a production that is not for a good cause. And I know we enjoy chasing money, though when you start chasing your soul or start connecting deeper with your soul and your real mission, your real purpose, the endless amount of money and the endless amount of gifts that come forward are miracles coming forward, which means you can literally build the vast amount of things we are saying through connecting with your mission and purpose, through meditating. And it's not easy to meditate. I've been trying to do it for a consistent amount of days, 5 years in a row. And a lot of people run away because they can't learn how to silence their mind. And you don't need to silence your mind. You're a creator. We're supposed to create and produce what comes from us. So we understand that this isn't easy, and we might want to run the other way and follow this other agenda that could be the hustle and grind or working. But there is very much so a greater way. And when you can get to this greater way, you realize that Earth is just one level, and there's many levels, and every human has superpowers. Every human is a super hero, and you activate that. Let's talk about some masters on the planet. I know our brother Jesus, he went and studied in India and started learning Kundalini and started intaking different plant medicine and started serving people plant medicine. People would call it bread. And serving by just being, by becoming the evolved, enlightened Christ being. We can also talk about other masters, ascended masters. Can you name a few? Tsunami?
Babaji. Yeah, Babaji. Mary Magdalene. Akhenaten is also with us. I'll get into that story in a whole nother episode. Saint Germain.
All of these beings
Another amazing brother
that came here to teach and lead the way, they tapped into what we're speaking about right now. And a lot of us are starting to tap into this. And it's all about coming forward and presenting it to the masses. And sometimes it's hard to come forward because for me, it's like, how do I grab my balance to even speak about such vast levels of what I'm retrieving? And sometimes you just gotta pause and master yourself and then go out and produce. Though everyone is being activated right now, and we're going to be coming into a very large shift called the solar flash, where even more people will be activated and say, whoa, what's going on? Oh my gosh, there's a total another way. Oh my gosh, I can see through the veil, see through the matrix. And you've heard us talk about this in our other podcasts because this is important. And what's important needs to shine out and rise and ripple to the ears of humanity.
It's time.
So is there anything
Things are ramping up.
ramping up, whoop, 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 whoop. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Buckle up.
Whoop.
The countdown's taking place. We're ready for blast off.
You know, when I first figured this out, I was like, dude, wait, you're telling me I'm a superhero? You're telling me that I can... What? I used to watch these superhero movies, and geez, alright, I'm in. This is the way I want to play, this way. And so for all you superhero fanatics, yeah, this is real. Now,
Jedi schools are being built.
yeah, so y'all heard of mystery teachings, mystery schools? All of the people who held those teachings, we are a part of that. We are channeled to build these temples, these islands, these castles, and their new mystery teachings, mystery schools, where all of the teachings are provided in one location all over the world.
Mastery schools.
Groovy.
It's not going to be a mystery anymore. You're going to bring forth all the hidden knowledge.
Say that again?
What was that? I said they were the mystery schools. They were the mystery schools, and those high-level teachings were held for very select few individuals throughout history. And we're now at a time where all of the mysteries are getting brought forth for the mass of mastery.
Yeah. Really just take that in. Take a breath, family. Everyone listening and watching, just breathe that new energy in. Breathe this open opportunity in. And so rock and roll, yo. We're grateful to share a little bit deeper of what we're focused on building and what is really being produced over here, and why we had to go into such a deep state of silence, and why we had to hop off of specific channels, because there's a time where you just can't accept so much energy from the outside world, and you have to step in forward and see the picture clearly to build. And
Precisely.
here we are.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Here we are. And as we said, things are ramping up big time. The individuals that are masters at their crafts and hold so many of these keys that are coming together to join forces and do this is just mind blowing. And it's so exciting. And each and every day, more and more new pieces are coming to the table, joining our ecosystem, new partners, new charities, new leaders. And we're about to be having a ton of abundance to start trickling down to all these nonprofits and to scale up the creations. And it's just a lot of really exciting, magical things that are coming together right now at this great time to truly start leveling the playing field for humanity, and to create endless opportunities for abundance and for people to not be working a job that they're miserable in just to get by and survive, but to live in a society where everyone can start thriving. And that's really the changes that are coming. Fortunately, we've been placed in positions to be stewards of these things that are coming through, and we've, as we mentioned, this has been a long path coming here, but we've stayed fully focused on those goals, on these big picture goals that we're working towards. And if you go somewhere in a direction long enough with small increments of growth, eventually the compound effect kicks in and there's a skyrocket of growth, and you will break through and reach whatever goal it may be, no matter how crazy it may sound to some people. If you can come up with that idea in your head and a vision of it, it's possible.
Totally. And I want to touch in on the abundance that's coming forward for people who are really tapped in on a soul spiritual level and who are light workers. And honestly, everyone really, I believe, is a light worker if you dedicated yourself. You can always rise to this. Everyone has the opportunity to rise to this. And I'd like to say, when you come to Earth, we actually all came here royal and rich. We came here abundant without limitations. But right away, a handful of us are then being born in these hospitals, and we're signing our self away to these systems, and they've actually taken our gold from us, our abundance, and used it for the reasons they've used it, and also have held some of this money in spaces, say like underground bridges or under the waters. And as we shift into what is really truly called the golden age, we're shown that our gold comes back to humanity, which you'll see that the banking systems are starting to break down. You'll see that there's new portals, like where you get coins. What are those? What are the other portals of retrieving money and so forth?
Tokens, coins, digital currencies.
Digital currency.
What are you trying to say?
Digital currency, Tsunami.
Yeah.
Digital currency is being produced now.
Yeah, digital currencies.
Anyways, so a lot of...
I was just going to say, unfortunately, a lot of the digital currencies or cryptos out there on the market are a bunch of just hype and fluff with nothing backing them, with no value other than market hype. Where you even have Bitcoin, which was amazing to pave the way for digital currencies, but is not really the future in regards to how the systems are. So there's such a need for the right new economy that is truly backed by assets, gold being one of them, and other forms of assets for the planet, that has not just a use case for money abundance, but that's also tied to the use case of helping people's lives and the planet. And that's what we're doing. That's what we've been working on for many years. That's what we're getting ready to roll out with our digital currency, our node system, our gold-backed economy, as well as backed by all sorts of other assets, art, intellectual property, data, land, a mixture of assets, and even the most important asset, human capital, human people that have talents, that are heart-centered, that are mission-driven.
Yeah, and for some of us, like me, when I try to think about stuff like that, I can't fully understand it. I'm like, huh? And I've had to just sit and observe because it's a whole new banking system. How do I really understand it? Well, you got to study totally. But it's a bit complicated. But as we mentioned, these lower agendas are being dismantled. And so this whole new system that is producing for humanity and for Earth is arising. Well, I've had enough talk. Anything else?
No, this has been an amazing episode. If you'd like to learn more about these creations and get involved in any way, you can reach out to one of us on social media. You can go to our websites, dao.ascended.life, or you can go to our Lead Royalty Foundation, which is at leadroyalty.org. We got a lot of opportunities we're opening up for heart-centered light worker individuals that want to come in and help build these creations. So if you want to get involved, touch base with us.
Totally.
And thank you for all that you're doing in the world.
Yeah. And I also wanted to say la 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 Raka